Today on Beardo and Weirdo, we're being joined by our friend Dave Buckner, the original drummer for Papa Roach. He tells us some incredible stories and why it was such a big deal to make it to his 50th birthday.
And Dave gave a member of Pearl Jam's last resort, which was to run away from Dave.
It's an incredible story. Dave scared Pearl Jam.
Cut his life into pieces. Long Island, Houston, and Las Vegas. Chris Kael is coming to you. And
Craig Gass, comedian from Family Guy, King of Queens, Sex and the City. He's in Five Finger Death Punch. We're coming to Houston to Top Secret Comedy, and we're coming back to Jimmy Kimmel's for Halloween weekend, which is also a weekend that your friend Jimmy from Metallica is performing. You call him Jimmy, right?
You mean Mr. Jimmy Hetfield, my
Jimmy,
good pal.
All the info is at getgas.com. Getgas with 2 S's.com. Jimmy Hetfield, we'll see you there. Ladies and gentlemen, we're being joined by our buddy, the first 4-time guest.
Yes.
4-time guest. The great Dave Buckner of Papa Roach fame.
Yeah. What's up, boys? What's up?
Papa Roach fame and personal connection to Chris and I. And we're having Dave on because I really wanted to dig into this. Dave hit me up a couple months ago and said, dude, what are you doing June 20th? And I'm like, I don't have anything. What's going on June 20th? He's like, dude, it's my 50th birthday. And I'm like, oh, cool. And then he said, and 10 years sober. And I go, no shit.
Heck yeah.
Whoa. Yeah, dude, and I started looking for plane tickets right away. Darcy started looking. Dude, plane tickets were expensive.
Yeah.
Darcy's like, I can't go there and come. I was like, I'll make it work. I'll make it work.
She's got an apartment in New York.
Yeah.
What's that? $12,000 a month for
Whoa.
1 bedroom?
1,200. Good luck finding a 1,200.
I said 12,000.
Oh, 12,000. Yeah, closer to 12,000. Exactly. But so I got to be there, and can
you imagine if I was like, oh, it's a whole $1,200 a month? How could she afford to do anything in this economy? My God.
And I want to show you being able to be in that room. I've known Dave peripherally for about 25 years. And
that rolled off the tongue nice, too.
And
periphery. Yeah.
And back in the day when I first knew him, we were both just wasted all the time.
I did ShipRocked with him. I know.
Yeah. Oh, is that right? You'd see him hammer?
I think that's the first time I met Dave was on ShipRocked.
Yeah. Yeah. And being reconnected years ago, and the three of us, all of our friendships became much deeper because of our drug addictions and our alcoholism.
And motorcycles.
And motorcycles for the two of you, because you guys are cool and I'm not. The one photo...
Rhythm section guys.
The one photo the three of us have together, and we'll put it right here, is like, I've never looked cooler than when
it's the best photo.
It's when I was in a photo with Dave and Chris. And even Darcy was like, are you wearing flip-flops in that picture? I go, just focus on the cool.
Yeah. Was it outside of the house? Yes, I had flip-flops on.
So Dave Buckner, once again, my friend, happy 50th birthday. And more importantly, happy 10 years of recovery. How did it feel to have all that love with you in the house?
Oh, so beautiful, man. And thanks, dude. First of all, let me just thank you both for having me on the pod because, I was notably the first guest, right?
Yep. Yes.
And I've done it a couple times since. And your pod has grown significantly along the way. You guys are doing the whole, growth arc.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Rogan #1, Beardo and Weirdo #2 consistently. It's been great.
Trust me. Like I've seen the view numbers when I'm on the pod. So I just want to say thank you guys. I really appreciate you guys having me on the pod, dude, because I know the numbers, man. You know what I'm saying. So
hey, you don't have access to those Spotify numbers.
I'm clearly the choice because I'm a personal friend of both of you. So
we have a lot of love for you.
It definitely has nothing to do with my fame or notoriety. I know that.
Hey, man, you played on Last Resort. Hush.
Which is such a unique experience in itself that I want to get into. But I do want to play this moment at his birthday party. So I want to show this video of this moment where, and by the way, Dave, I'm not 100% sure if you're going to see this video, but I don't know if you're going to hear it. Let us know if you're hearing the audio. But this was Dave surrounded by Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. With Stacy, his wonderful wife.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody loves.
Happy birthday, dear. And my mom in the background?
Yeah.
Yep. Your mom in the background. That's right.
Birthday to you.
Ah.
Yeah.
Here we
Check out that cake, man. I can't hear the audio, so I don't know if I'm talking over anything, but.
Oh, we can still hear you.
Okay, that cake was made by my friend Amber Anna, my friend Russ's wife, Amber. She just did
Oh, yeah.
knockout job with it.
She did
and all the cupcakes, too.
Yeah, incredible. So that is the second birthday cake that we've had on Beardo and Weirdo, too.
Oh, yeah, Jerry
The other one,
Cantrell.
Jerry Cantrell. So
Yeah,
you're in
there's
good company, sir.
There's this weird thing. Well, it's actually 3. We had Mike McCready's birthday, too. Mike McCready's the birthday video for that, too.
I wouldn't pay attention to that one.
Yeah. So Jerry Cantrell and Mike McCready, they both turned 60 in the last couple of months. And then I happened to be in Seattle for Mike's birthday because I was performing down the street with Zach and all those guys for the benefit.
Yeah, Zach really appreciated you taking him to that party, too.
Yeah. Yeah. I was looking for Zach. He wasn't around. So I grabbed a friend and said, hey, do you like cake? And then we went to Mike McCready's birthday party.
Yeah. I then told Zach later, hey, man, I was looking for you. And I didn't see you, so you didn't show up for the sound check. So I invited someone else to go to Jerry Cantrell's birthday party with me. Zach was like, my phone works, dude.
Yeah, he was not happy with that. But, dude, Dave Buckner has a great Pearl Jam story. If you don't mind telling the story, Dave Buckner and I coincidentally happened to be living in Seattle in the early 90s when everything was popping in Seattle. And there was,
man, are we telling that story right now? I thought we were saving it for the next time I come on the pod.
I think
you want me to do it now? I'll do it now.
Yeah, do it now because it's
ready.
such a good story.
Do
it's such a good story.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Chris,
all right.
As a musician, tell me how you feel about this story.
Okay.
Okay, so it is I believe the year is 1994. I'm living in Seattle because I had moved there to go to art school, going to Art Institute of Seattle. I had temporarily left Papa Roach at the behest of my parents, who were like, the band thing, like the music's not going to go anywhere. So, you need to do something with your life. So I said, all right, fine, I'll go to art school. And I think my original thought was like, maybe I'll end up working for, Pixar or get some kind of gig like that after school. And I was in my first semester, which I only lasted one semester. And one night, so like while I was living there, I would go to rock shows. They have, like Seattle Music Town, right? Gibbon. And I think it was this band called Minus the Bear was playing at, I believe that's the name of the band. They were playing at Crocodile Cafe, if you know that, if you're familiar with that venue.
Of course.
And there's a buzz in the room. I'm watching the band, but there's a buzz in the room. And one of my friends I was there with said, Stone Gossip for Pearl Jam's here. And I was like, holy shit, that's cool. And I'm like, I had just moved to Seattle, and obviously, like, maybe I had left my band, but I wasn't giving up on music or playing drums. So everyone who knows me knows that, like, in the early days of the band and even later on, like, I was the big networker.
Oh yeah, of course.
So, like, I was the guy who go around, talk to everybody, make the connections, get the contacts, like I was putting shows together with, like bands and, all around the state. And that, I was just the guy who got that done for us. And so I'm like, well, shit, dude, I'm going to go say what's up to Stone, let him know.
Oh, no.
The cliffhanger.
Oh, my God. That was your Patreon moment for the episode, everybody. If you want to find out what happened, go to our Patreon page and catch the rest of that Dave Buckner moment.
In town.
No, hold on.
Oh, wait. Dave, I just got to back you up just like 10 seconds because you dropped out for 10 seconds.
All right. Craig.
Sorry.
Craig.
Apologies.
I told you this is why I didn't want to do the
I know.
pod by Zoom.
I
right?
know. I
Hey,
know. I know.
Hey, Dave, you know Craig.
I said, hey, Craig, I will fly my happy ass into Las Vegas, turn and burn. I will get myself a ticket, put myself up. You don't need to get me a hotel, put me up. I will fly there to do the pod in person because it's a big deal to me. Like 50 years, 10 years sober.
Yeah.
And I said, I'd really rather fly in. I don't want to do the pod by Zoom. I hate doing pods by Zoom because my audio is always bad and it always drops out.
It was
Craig
actually,
said,
it was great
Craig
except for
said,
that one moment.
Craig said, cool. I'll see you tomorrow on the pod by Zoom tomorrow at 7 o'clock. That's how the conversation went.
Well, there was more to it. I said, can we have you on to talk about your birthday? And then can we get you to come back in a couple of weeks to sit in the studio just as a third member where it's Beardo, Weirdo, and Bucko? That was the idea.
Hey, man, you're going to figure out this is the weirdo show most of the time behind the scenes.
Right.
So it
But
was,
you know how Craig admittedly has that thing where like he just doesn't listen and just keeps trucking on with his own agenda.
I don't know that at all.
Yeah. That was yesterday for me, or yesterday.
Yeah.
When we were booking this.
Craig loves trying to get me on it. Like it happens all the time that he's not listening and hasn't heard something. And you know, I'm like, I'm going on tour July 16th. Oh, okay. We're going to do some shows on July 18th. We'll get Dave Buckner in here.
Yeah.
Cool. Craig, I said, so the one or two times that I don't listen, he's like, oh, that's exactly why I don't do that with you.
all this video right now of both of your comments are going to be played in couples therapy. So thank you for that.
And it's going to be the part that I clip and put on my page. Clip it, Alex.
All right. Video.
Thank you, Dave. Rhythm section against Craig. Let's go.
Yeah. Video.
Are we back? Are we back?
Yes. Video and audio is good. So you're in the crocodile and and Stone Gossard is in the room.
Okay. So I push up to the bar next to Stone. I introduced myself. I said, hey, my name's Dave. I just moved from Sacramento, California. I'm a drummer. I'm looking for a band. If you know any local bands that need a drummer, can I give you my contact so that, you can get a hold of me? And he's like, yeah, man, sure. Whatever, kid. And I was like, cool. So I write my phone number, name and phone number down on a napkin and I hand it to him. And that was that for the evening. Fast forward to, I swear it had to be like a week, maybe 2 weeks later. I'm watching MTV in my apartment and I see Pearl Jam parts with their drummer, Dave Aversees, and they're auditioning drummers. So obviously the first immediate thought is, this is my chance.
Yep.
Of
They're gonna
course.
call me and be like, dude, do you want to audition for Pearl Jam?
Yeah.
And I'll be like, sure, I'll audition for Pearl Jam. You know what? I knew all the songs. I knew their first 2 albums, the ones that they had put out, like front to back. That's what I would practice along to when I was practicing.
One question.
Papa Roach stuff. Yeah.
One question. When you wrote your name down on the napkin, did you write Dave Buckner and then in parentheses, drummer?
I did.
I knew it.
I did.
I knew
Yes, exactly right. Dave Buckner, drummer, California, something like that.
Okay. Cool guy.
Here you go. Cool guy.
Yeah.
All in general. So here I am having these fanciful thoughts that I'm going to get the call. Stone has my number. I'm going to get this audition. Well, obviously that call's not coming. We all know that. But the coffee shop that I used to always have coffee at after school was right downstairs from Pearl Jam management office. Okay?
Okay.
So me being me, I would go have coffee every day after school in the hopes, like while I was there, that maybe I would see one of them pull up, headed into the office or coming out of the office.
Of course.
And maybe I could kind of work my way into like getting that audition. So one day I'm there after school, doing my studies, whatever, doing some design practice stuff, whatever. And out of the corner of my eye, I see Stone walking into to the Kelly Curtis management office. And I'm like, holy shit, there he goes, right? So obviously, like, I'm right in the middle of coffee, but I'm like, I'm going to catch him when he comes out. So I hurry up, finish up my coffee, get my stuff together, and I have my backpack ready, and I'm sitting there waiting, excitedly. sure enough, about 25 minutes later, he comes walking out the door, and I book it like out of the coffee shop, around the corner into the parking lot where his car's parked. I see him get into his black Volvo wagon, right? Early 90s black. It was brand new car. I see him pulling out. There's only one way out of that parking lot, and it's through me. I'm standing right there between me and Destiny are standing face to face.
This is your opportunity to be in Pearl Jam.
This is it. This is my opportunity to get this audition. Even if I don't make it in the band, I'm going to get this.
All you need to do is physically stop the car.
Yeah. So world's literally colliding.
As he's driving out of the parking lot, I'm standing there with my backpack. Mind you, I'm an 18-year-old, about, I don't know, give or take back then, I was about 300 pounds.
Wow.
You know, like cholo looking, right? This Mexican kid from California.
Yeah.
Right? I wave him down. I go, Stone, Stone, Stone. And I'm like, it's me from the Crocodile, Dave. And he stops the car, rolls down his passenger window, looks at me, and does this. And just drives off. That was it. And that was my almost audition for Pearl Jam.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
If only you'd gotten a second chance to join another big band.
And that's the crazy thing is that, and what I really wanted to talk about was recovery, is that you end up on a fucking rocket ship that is so rare from anyone else's success. Being in a band that actually succeeds is a 1 in a million shot. What you did right out the gate was a 1 in a trillion shot.
Yeah.
Because you had one of your songs becomes the song that defines that entire genre for so many people.
Oh, yeah.
And to have something like that you put out and you don't even know, you go, man, I feel good about this. And the feedback is so strong that it almost makes you feel like, what is going on? I know we've talked about this privately before, but doesn't it feel like someone has somehow broken the matrix for you and has changed the world to just go in your favor? Like, does it feel like that at one point?
It kind of does, dude, because even, you know, to have a breakout song be as big as Last Resort was for us and catapult our career from indie band to worldwide, that was one thing, right? But, you know, hit songs come and go. I mean, there's tons of one-hit wonders in the world and along, you know, the rock continuum. But as time has gone on, that song has continued to grow. I mean, like, it's gone its ups and downs. I mean, it's so woven into the fabric, I feel, of culture kind of at this point, which is kind of a weird thing for me to say, but
for sure.
I mean, like, it's a meme. It's like, you know, they play it. I mean, like, dude, there isn't anyone, you know, I don't want to say anyone on the planet who hasn't heard that song, but I mean, let's just say, like, there, you know, who do you know who's never heard that song? I mean, that song is like, oh, it's so ubiquitous at this point. And then now it's even being credited as being like the #1 song of the genre. Like, that's weird.
Did I see that thing hit a billion? Has that hit a billion plays?
Yeah, we hit.
Look at Smile,
man.
Oh, Dave's got a plaque.
Yeah, I do remember that 1 billion.
Yeah.
That blows my mind.
Yeah, it's surreal.
And when we hit 1 billion, we were there had only been, we were in the first 500 songs to hit 1 billion on Spotify.
Nice. Wow.
And now there's more. That was like 2 years ago we hit that benchmark, and but yeah, when we hit 1 billion, we were among, you know, we were one of only 500 other songs in the entire catalog of music to ever hit 1 billion streams.
So the story that I really want to focus on about recovery, so many people who end up in the line of work that the two of you end up in, it's so easy to be lazy about it and not go upstream and get healthy, because everyone is handing everything to you.
Yeah.
And no one, by the way, if they're smart, is going to tell you to stop, because that means losing their job potentially, to be like, hey, Dave, I know I'm your drum tech, but your party is going to let a lot of control. It's like, all right, next.
Yep.
Come on, we got to
hire the next yes man.
Let's get the next yes man to come in here. So were you a big partier before Success? Were you a big alcohol drug guy? No?
No, not at all.
Oh
Not
my
at all.
God,
In
you're
fact,
kidding.
In high school and early adulthood, I was known as like the sober guy.
Shut up.
In the friend group. Yeah, man. Like I was like the guy who didn't, I mean, I maybe drank a 40 every now and then, smoked, we passed the J around.
Cholo from California. That's what you got to do.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But I wasn't messing with anything hard, like pills or powders or anything like that. It wasn't until 2002, which is well after the band blew up and did its thing, that I tried my very first line of cocaine.
You're kidding.
Yep. You and I share a lot.
Fact, can I tell you a quick story?
Yeah.
Before we ever made it, I was at Tobin's house. I think must have been around 19 or 20 years old, early days of the band. Very early, like the baby days of the band. But we were at Tobin's house, and do you remember Miss Cleo, the psychic, the telepsychic?
Yeah, the Jamaican.
That's right.
Yeah.
So this commercial for Miss Cleo comes on, and I was like, I'm gonna call and see what Miss Cleo has to say. And so I actually called the number, and I don't know if it was Miss Cleo, but it was a lady who sounded an awful lot like Miss Cleo. I mean, she's kind of Jamaican, whatever. Yeah. She's given me, she asked me my name and birth date, and then she did her reading, and it's really kind of uncanny, because she very shortly deduced that I was a drummer, I was a musician.
Whoa.
And a few other key things in my life where I'm like, okay, maybe there's something here. But she had a very stark warning for me. She said, stay away from cocaine.
Whoa.
She said, if you get involved in using cocaine or other heavy drugs, you will lose everything. Ooh. It all goes away.
Yeah.
Although, I got to say, if I was, and I'm not saying she was running a racket, but if I was running a racket where I pretended to be a psychic and I'm fumbling around and I'm like, you're a musician. Yeah. Okay. You're a drummer. Yeah. And you said yes to both those things. I'd go, something's telling me to tell you to stay away from cocaine. That would just be an obvious thing for me to say. But
I mean, how many other musicians, in out there have, drugs and alcohol are kind of part of the job. Almost, it seems like. So, and for her to clearly, specifically warn me to stay away from using cocaine, was, looking back now, I'm like, that's huge.
You and I have a lot in common, because I really didn't do that much growing up. I was also the networker, Mr. Shaking Hands, Mr. Putting out flyers, connecting with everybody. I didn't like doing drugs or alcohol, because then I felt like I was out of control. I wanted to be in control of my mind and my thoughts, because I knew I wanted to play music. I was writing, booking shows, doing all that stuff. And same thing, ended up joining this massive band. You guys blew up, became this massive band. But I felt I was fine until that first line. That's the one that got me. In the back of a tour bus. The very first time was the first time I ever did it.
Same.
So, I mean,
Same.
So, and I don't know if you were like me, but was part of that progression of the addiction, because you were like, I don't know how long this is going to last. I'm doing everything. Because that's what it was with me.
Oh, for success, you mean? For success.
I didn't know how long the band was going to last, how long I was going to be in the band. So I was like, I'm taking advantage of every opportunity. I want to do it all.
Was that the same for you, Dave?
I really kind of feel like, and for whatever reason, I learned later that there was a few people in my immediate circle that were already using that substance, and they kept it away from me. Everyone kept it away from me.
Same here.
For some weird, the universe just was like, I'm gonna do you a solid and keep it out of your radar. Until one night we were in Europe, and I was looking for my drum tech, and I went on the back of the crew bus, and there was a few guys from the crew who were chopping up lines, and it was literally like that scene out of what is that? Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story, where like they're in the back of the bus and they're like chopping up lines, and I'm like, is that blow? Is that blow? I'm like, hey, give me a line.
Yeah.
And
no,
and
Dave.
it was like that scene where they're like, you don't want none of this cocaine, Dave.
Why?
Trust us.
What does it do? It makes you
Yeah.
feel like $1 million. It makes your
Yeah.
life amazing. It shrinks your penis, but gives you incredible confidence and makes your life and every conversation the greatest conversation you've ever had.
You're gonna have so many plans and so many business ideas. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
There's
But
a
anyway,
a mutual friend of ours, and I don't know if he wants his name said, but he's a musician friend of ours who says they call it a congressional hearing.
Yeah.
When they get together and do coke, everybody's like,
Yeah.
like everybody just kind of like just flaps their gums
Yep.
forever and ever. Anyway, so you finally that first line, you were
Yeah.
in.
well, for me, it was like honestly, my first thought was, this doesn't feel like anything at all. Like I'm like, this is what the war on drugs was fought for. Like this is so a nothing burger. Like
Wow.
to me, like I can't believe like this is the thing that tears people's lives up and destroys people's lives. Like I don't understand. Like I feel fucking great. This is awesome.
Yeah.
What's the big deal about it? I don't get it. You know.
Whoa.
And still, even after that first time, it took like another maybe like 2 months before I tried it again, and then it was like a month, and then a couple weeks, and then a couple days, and then like within short order, very very short order, I was a daily user, and then the amount kept growing. I used to have like the little bags of it, and then that quickly ballooned into like literally ballooned like into like I was buying like 2 8-balls at a time. And,
Whoa.
like Charlie Sheen would say, like we were banging 3-gram rocks. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it was just insanity, really. And at the time, I was going through a divorce, so I was leaning harder and harder on it, and I just kind of everything all at once. It just, and like I think the upside to the whole story was that it all happened so fast that there wasn't enough time to really damage my body or organs as much as like some people who are able to maintain for years and years and years. Like everything fell apart for me within the first probably 5 or 6 years of my first time trying it.
That's a lot of years though.
Yeah.
It's still a lot of years. And are you mostly, is it mostly on the road, and is it, this is actually a question I've never asked anybody for a direct answer to, but it's easy to do it on the road and it's easy to get, right? Because there's always people who want to get backstage and they'll give you drugs if they can get backstage, right? So it's easy to access. I always notice that like road crew guys, anybody be like, oh yeah, we'll just, we'll contact the local guy. There's always a local guy that a local promoter knows that will come in, briefcase, what do you need?
Yeah.
You know? So was it mostly on the road that you were able to get all this coke?
Yeah, it started that way. And then it got to the point where like, I'd get home from tour and I would be like, yeah, I'm going to need to find some of that at home. So I quickly built out a network of probably several different contacts that I could call. And it was pretty easy for me to get. And, it was, I felt like I had, I got plenty of money. So like, no worries there,
Yep.
found out later, like one of my friends told me, they're like, Dave, you probably snorted a really good sized house. And I'm like, you're probably not wrong, homie.
Yeah.
But it's right around the time we were making it kind of started taking hold. My addiction started taking hold during the writing process of the third album, Getting Away with Murder.
Okay.
Or fourth album, if you're counting, depending on how you count, our third major label album. And then I was rocking pretty hard that whole touring cycle. And but things really started cooking for me like when I split with my ex-wife and we were going through the divorce process, and then we went into the Paramore mansion to make our fourth major label record, which I had prophesied. I had prophesied. Is that the word?
Prophesized.
Yep.
That would be my last album with the band. And matter of fact, when we went out to on tour to promote that record, I was having talks with, like, you know, those fans that they've been around so long and they're such diehard fans that you kind of build a friendship with them.
Oh yeah.
So I would have conversations with, like, you know, my Ride or Die fans, and I'd be like, yeah, this is like my last tour with the band. But I felt like I was saying that in the context that I was going to die of an overdose. That's what I felt like. And it was so dark for me that, like, I was literally, I didn't care at that point if I lived or died. That's how important.
Wow.
And matter of fact, I would have, like, weird thoughts, like, you know, this whole rock and roll thing's cool, but it's really hindering my ability to do drugs all the time as much as I want.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That was a legitimate thought to me at one point.
Wow. And are you starting to notice at that point, if you're having thoughts about, or, you know, almost fantasizing about your impending death, I'm assuming that things are starting to fall apart in your personal life and with the band?
Absolutely. And during the writing and recording process of Paramore Sessions, the band had tried to do a sort of intervention, but they kept it really small. It was just the other guys in the band, and they're like, Dave, we're really worried about you. And I was just not in any way, shape, or form ready to hear that or listen to what they were saying. You know, they were like, hey man, like, we really feel like it's getting out of control for you, and we think you need some help. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. I'm gonna do what I want. You know what I mean? And,
I'm grown. Yeah.
So was it annoying?
Grown ass man.
Do you remember it being an annoying thing to hear at the time?
Absolutely, man. I just felt like, man, you guys, you don't get it. You know, you don't know what I'm going through, and you don't know what, you know. And matter of fact, I remember during that time period too. Like, we were in and around Hollywood, and I was rolling around Hollywood. I had several drug buddies who are, I won't mention any names, but they are notorious heavy drug users who, the one I'm specifically thinking about right now is now sober, which is awesome. He's
Beautiful.
sober many years, I think a decade, matter of fact.
Nice.
But at the time, he was at what I think everyone now would say was his bottom as well. And him and I would party together every now and then. And I remember being sitting with him with a big pile of Scarface, you know, on the coffee table.
The world is mine.
Like, and it's literally like, it was just like, I think like 3 of us in a room, and we're just like doing drugs and like nothing else. It's like, what are we doing? You know, and like, we're joking around like, you know, man, we're drug addicts, man. We're drug addicts. We're like, ha ha ha. Like, we're just, you know, chopping it up.
I've been there.
And at one point, like, he stopped the proceedings, and when he was like, Dave, listen to me, kid. I do a lot of fucking drugs. That's noted. But you, dude, you better fucking slow down. You're gonna fucking die, man. You do fucking more drugs than I do. I'm like, sure, dude, whatever, man.
Yeah.
Sure, man. And
based on that impression, who do you think he just did an impression? I was like, that sounds like Steve-O. That sounds like I'm trying to place the impression. But and also when you said there's a couple of guys in LA that were rolling really hard, I was like, I'll bet Chris and I have their phone number.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
But dude,
I even got to the point one time where my dealer, I went to go pick up. He sat in the car with me. He goes, hey man, are you doing okay?
Really?
Yeah, my dealer. Yeah. He goes, are you doing okay? He's like, I know it's my job to make money off of you, but I also care about you. Like, I just want to make sure you're okay. Because I too was going through a divorce at that time and starting to spiral pretty hard. So
it's funny because when Dave is telling that story, that a guy who rolls really hard is looking at him going, dude, you have a problem.
Oh yeah.
And I think we all as drug addicts relate to that even the people that we think are going the hardest are trying to tell us we need to slow down.
Yeah. That's how not self-aware we are under the influence of those things.
So you are still in the band. They've attempted to talk to you. You're going so hard that even the biggest drug addicts you know are telling you, hey, dude, you're going really hard. And then where does it go from there before you finally see the light?
It was early 2007, and we were booked for a tour right smack dab in the middle of winter. I think it was like January, February. We did a run through Canada. And I had told band and management both, I'm like, this is my last tour.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I like how management always books those cold places January, February.
Yeah.
Isn't that awesome?
They don't have to go.
Thank you. Yeah.
Get out there and make me some money, boy. Buy extra blankets.
You know, and that whole tour, I remember very little of it because most of it was spent, you know, like with, you know, just, I was just so addicted that like my only concern was like, how am I going to get high tonight? You know, it has nothing to do with, you know, playing a good show or anything like that. And we came home from that run and I think we had like a 2 or 3 week break. And I just decided to like go for it. I'm like, I'm getting as much of this stuff as I can.
Oh my God.
I'm getting a stockpile together and I'm just going to like, I'm going to go on a run until the next time we leave on the road. And it was about a 2-week run. I was like on a serious bender for about 2 weeks, like very little sleep whatsoever. I'm sure I was like in full psychosis because I was having weird visions and like there were weird people in and out of my house all the time. Like for real, like it was like one of those, my house had become like a trap house. There was just always like a weird cast of characters running in and out of there. And I had a companion over for the evening, a lady friend of mine, and she kind of spent the evening like kind of suggesting that she's like, you know, do you believe in Jesus? You know, she's like kind of like proselytized to me, you know, like she's like, maybe you need religion or, you know, like something.
Mm-hmm.
And after she had left, the morning that she had left, I just kind of had like this moment of clarity. Like for what, I don't know how or why, but like, I don't know, something in my soul finally said, dude, it's time to stop. And I called my singer, Jacoby, and I said, dude, I need help.
Oh, wow.
Can you help me? And he said, say less. I'm calling management right now. We're going to get you into rehab ASAP. And literally, my parents came and got me that night. And the next morning, I was booked into a rehab in Northern California, my first rehab. And that's where my journey started. That's really where my journey started, 2007. You know?
You hadn't mentioned your parents yet. Up until that point, I would imagine your parents were going like crazy watching their kid. Clearly, I mean, you can't hide that from your parents when you're getting that deep.
No, man. And, you know, I found out later, as I started to, you know, go through the process of recovery and rebuild my relationships, make amends and whatnot. But my mom had shared with me that she's like, mijo, you know, you don't know how many nights I stayed awake all night, like just wondering if I was going to get that call that they were going to find you, you know, like dead in your bunk or something like that. Like she's like, I was waiting on that call. Like literally I couldn't sleep because I was worried about you so much. And that was tough to hear, dude. You know, it's like and there's a lot of those conversations that were had, you know, as I got into recovery and I'm a 12-stepper. I worked the 12 steps. So that's how I did my you know, my thing. But yeah, dude, 2007. So if you're looking at it like I'm 19 years in recovery and I'm celebrating 10 years sober. So it took me a few years. And cocaine, I was very fortunate that like I was able to eliminate at least that. And then, you know, stop smoking weed, but it was drinking that really was the last claw that addiction had in me. Cause I felt like, well, I'm not doing the heavy stuff. So like I can go out, maybe I can drink like a gentleman. You know?
Yeah.
And that's just what, you know, every time I would kind of fall for that lie that my brain would tell me, my life would fall apart faster and faster. So I learned over the course of a few relapses that wasn't going to.
You're reminding me of a great story that Ozzy confessed about. There's this legendary story that Sharon finally managed to get through to Ozzy by saying, look, I'm going to take you to a place. And she lied to him and said, it's called the Betty Ford Clinic. And and it's a place you go to learn how to drink like a gentleman.
Oh my!
And Ozzy said, I thought this would be a good idea because, I've been shitting my pants a lot. Like, wow, what a confession. Yeah. So what were you gonna say, Chris?
I said, I love the fact that you were talking about, I'm not doing this anymore. I've taken those things out of there. I've got a good friend. He's like, hey man, I got sober too. I'm just drinking red wine now. The hell?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'm sober. I'm not sure that's how that works either. Yeah.
So 2007, the light turns on, but you still go back and forth with alcohol. Yeah. And then...
And you know what? There's an old saying in the 12-step community that nothing's worse than a head full of recovery and a belly full of alcohol.
Oh,
something
wow.
like that. So, you know what I mean? So like it totally ruins whatever good time you thought you were going to have.
Oh yeah.
Because the deal. Like, what you're doing is not helping you. It's going to tear your life down.
Oh, there's so many.
That's that 1,000-pound gorilla that was just on my back that wouldn't let it be done until it was done.
Yeah. There's so many great sayings in recovery. And one of them that really resonated with me was, you're only as healthy as your secrets. It's like, oof, man. Yep. So to get everything out there and to work on everything. So you're going back and forth with alcohol, and where does the light come on that you realize that alcohol's just has to go? You're not going to be completely healthy.
Well, Chris had mentioned doing ShipRocked together, and I was in a relapse on one of those. Ooh. I'm not sure how many times we did it together, but on one of those, I was like in a full-blown relapse. So, I thought like, oh yeah. And I just remember like, I think it was either 2012 or 2013, maybe.
Were you with Lucas on that one?
I was, yeah.
That's the one that I was with you guys on. Yeah. With Death Punch was on there. Yeah. And
I was not in a good way, but I knew, I knew that, I knew I shouldn't be drinking, but it was kind of that thing where it was kind of, I don't know, I don't know, whatever lie our brain, our addiction tells us that, to that moment where it's like, you need a drink, buddy. You know what I mean? So whether it's the stress, I think it was maybe one of our first, it was maybe the first time our new band, Halo Method, was doing a show.
Yeah, that's what I remember about it. Yeah.
Okay. And, or, I'm on a boat, no one's going to find out. You're on a boat. You can just if you get too tipsy, you can just go to your room and everything will be fine, And it's like, no, none of that's true.
Then you drink in your room too.
Yeah, exactly.
Is this the band you did with Ben, right?
Right. Yeah. It was Halo Method was Ben Moody, myself, Lucas Rossi was the singer, and the bass player was Josh Newell, who was the original bass player for In This Moment. But
wow. So Ben from Evanescence.
Evanescence, yep.
Do we want
Ben Moody, yeah.
There is an interesting note about Dave's birthday that he got a text that morning from Ben Moody.
Okay.
And it was a photo. It was a photo of him on a plane. And that's it. And Dave's like, bro, you coming? You want me to pick you up? Nothing. And then it became a running joke throughout the birthday that I don't think Ben's coming.
Yeah.
3:30 is when the birthday party started. By 5 p.m., we all started making the once an hour announcement. I don't think Ben's coming.
Yeah.
And then the sun finally starts to set. It's beautiful in Boise this time of year, and it's 9-ish. The sun's still out. And I know when everybody leaves, we're all going to sit down. We love getting together, having some food, and watching murder documentaries. So we're going to sit down and watch a documentary. And it's about 9:30 when the last of the people who are going to leave are going to leave. Hey, what's up? Ben Moody shows up at 9:30. At 9:30, I was like, that is the most rock star move I've ever seen in my life. It was one of the funniest things. And Ben hung out.
Nice.
He hung out. But dude, that was rock star move.
Yeah.
Oh, please believe I literally did a triple take.
Yeah.
A couple of my motorcycle buddies had ridden their Harleys, and they were getting ready to leave. And I was kind of walking them out, seeing them out. And I was standing at the garage talking to them. And all of a sudden I hear, did somebody order DoorDash? And I turn around and it's Ben Moody with a fucking, with a Kroger grocery bag in his hand. And it was It was my birthday gift that he had. By the way, oh man, I wish I had it right here. I'll bring a picture in next time when I come do the show. But
yeah,
he made me this this amazing like steampunk lamp that looks like a rocket ship.
Yes.
Fucking awesome, dude. He's like, dude, I made you this for your birthday. I'm like, you're fucking shitting me, dude. I'm like, Ben is one of the coolest motherfuckers.
He really is.
Like he's one of like my best friends and just one of the people that like, you know, those people in your life where like when you have conversations, it's just absolute no bullshit. Like there's just nothing, like you just cut through the shit. Like there's no small talk. It's just, we're cutting right to it. And that, for me and Ben, that's the kind of friendship we have.
And
I feel like me and Craig kind of have
same way.
as well. Like,
same way. The three of us, actually, we've all gotten into some really heavy discussions about life. But yeah, Ben, it was a rare moment of hanging out with Ben. I've only hung out with him a few times, but what were we gonna say? Oh, you got it?
My mom brought it to the table. All right, hold on. Let me light it up. He's going to plug it in. Go ahead, Craig. Finish the story while I plug it in.
Where I realized that Ben is genuinely a guy who needs to focus on something, whether it's music, whether it's producing, because he's written songs for all kinds of other artists, or just building stuff, physically building stuff.
Yeah.
And he built this incredible thing for Dave that I was like, what is that? And it's like, that's my gift from Ben. And I was like, what? This is the light that he built from.
Very cool.
Which
look at that light bulb.
Oh, dude, it's incredible. Look at that.
That's cool.
Yeah. And that a cool nightlight. Yeah, a little spaceship. But
yeah, dude, Ben makes like these custom like Bluetooth boom boxes. Here's a little fact about Ben Moody. Not many people know. When he was on tour with Evanescence, I think he did it for Evanescence and We Are the Fallen when he went on tour with them. He wasn't satisfied with the sound quality or something with like the conductivity of the cable looms in the arena, like they were doing arena shows.
Yep.
And he wasn't satisfied with the quality of the cable looms, so he hand built cable looms to run from front of house, like like you plug into the snake, like all the channels are plugged in, and then it goes to front of house, and like they pipe it in there. Cable looms. We all know what they are, right? Everybody, yeah. He fucking handmade cable looms for the fucking tour because he wasn't stoked with like the stock cable looms that the cartage company was providing.
He mentioned
like this fucking crazy.
He did mention about some of the shows with Evanescence that there was occasional answer be like, hey, let me help you guys out with loadout. And he would just show up to the truck and start loading up equipment. I'd be like, really? How much cocaine are you doing where you're helping out loadout for the show?
Yeah.
But dude, you got
out there helping the fellas.
Yeah, helping the fellas. Oh, that is such an inside joke that we gotta hopefully explain one day if we can get the guy to come in and explain that line. That is an inside joke about a legendary rock artist. Oh my god! But you got cocaine out, alcohol is still in the way. You relapse on the ship for ShipRocked. Yep. And was that a moment that you realized, okay, was that your last time drinking? Did you have an aha moment?
No, it wasn't. Like I was sober when my son was born, and and I kind of had that oh, I can drink like a gentleman kind of itch in the back of my mind.
Yeah. And
so I would, it'd be the weekend, and I would call on my parents to babysit maybe for 1 or 2 nights. And then, I would go out and have some drinks or whatever, whatever. And this was like 2012, right around ShipRocked is like when I started relapsing. And that kind of pattern stuck around for a few years. I was but you know what? Like every time that I would relapse, it wouldn't last very long. It's kind of like, it'd be like a couple weeks here, a couple weeks there, but then I would go back to meetings and, talk about how I relapsed and start my days over.
Yeah.
But I did that like same pattern for like a good 3 years, I guess, with the drinking until finally, it'd be 4 years because my last drink was June 15th, 2016. And I had just recently, in 2015, I got together with my now wife, Stace, and hi, baby, love you.
Stay safe.
Friend of the show. Friend of the show. Shout out.
Mm-hmm.
So when I met her, I was in a relapse, and she had never considered sobriety, but knew that she maybe had a problem as well. And I won't tell her story, but she was like, maybe I should get sober as well. And so we attempted to do it together for the first year of our relationship, and that just proved to not really work at all.
Yeah.
Because they call it, they say your recoveries are enmeshed together.
Yeah.
And so one person would falter and the other person would get upset and drink at that person. And it was just doing this chaotic dance for a year until finally, June 15th, 2016, I had my last drink the night before. So early that morning. And I had decided, you know what, I'm really finally ready to be done. And I checked myself into my third and final rehab, which was an outpatient program. And I did that for 30 days. And I've been sober ever since.
Nice.
Why did that stick? Why did that work? Why did you know this is it?
Well, in the process of recovery, like they say you're if you're lucky enough, or like how you know that it's working for you, you get what they call a spiritual awakening, right? For many of us, that means a moment where God will, send you a sign that like it's the thing that when you recognize it as God trying to communicate with you and send you a message, you finally hear that. And I remember I had just completed my outpatient program, and Stace was over at my house, and she had played me. I forget if it was live on TV at the time or if it was a YouTube video, but it was a case of a guy in like Stockton who had just been sentenced. And the video was him standing in front of the judge to receive to be indicted or arraigned on his charges. And he knew, like, they said, Mr. So-and-so, do you know why you're standing in front of me? The judge says, and he's like, yeah, like, I know I was drinking and driving. And he goes, do you understand what happened last night or whenever, like when you're on the evening that you were drinking and driving? It's like, no. And the judge says, you went head on with another family in a vehicle and killed all of them, and you killed your 2-year-old son.
Oh my God.
And there was a little voice in the back of my head, whispering in my ear that said, Dave, next time you drink, that's you.
Ooh.
And
did it have a Jamaican accent?
Yeah.
Right. It's Cleo, actually. But no, I mean, like, dude, to watch that, to see someone who's like in a father to a young child who ends up, making the wrong decision and losing that child over it. And believe, like, when those words came out of the judge's mouth, like, you could see like his soul leave his body, like he was just done. Dude.
Yeah.
Oh,
but
man.
For me, that was my spiritual awakening, my spiritual moment that I was lucky enough to have. And from then on, the craving, that sort of the desire to even pick up a bottle or have a drink, like, has been completely removed from my consciousness.
Wow.
Ever since that moment. Yeah.
Man, I know people who struggle that just can't get past that. They can't get past the cravings. Yeah. And for someone like us who, we figured it out and we moved on and we managed to work on it through continual recovery work, it's weird for me to go, oh man, just stop. Yeah, just stop and go to meetings and just, and just work on yourself. And it's easier said than done. It is so weird how many people have died that I know who all had this one thing in common. They just didn't attempt to do it.
Right.
They didn't like work on themselves.
Yeah.
And that's so much to do with ego.
Yeah.
And I love you so much. I love you so much because, not just for the kind person that you were when I first met you 25 years ago, where I just kept thinking, man, that one guy in Papa Roach is so nice, man. That guy is so nice. And then reconnecting years later, and bonding over recovery, and then spending time with each other, and really, really getting to know each other, and spending time at each other's places, and you're just such a wonderful person. And
thank you, man.
I'm so,
and I love you too, Craig.
Yeah.
And you too, Chris. Don't feel left out.
Yeah. Oh, I'm well aware.
I love you, my Viking brother.
That's right. But my motorcycle mister.
But for you to have gone through all of that and go on that ride that so many people don't survive, I know how much it meant to you to be able to have, you invited everyone you loved to come out, and you had all your things. It was a celebration of Dave.
Mm-hmm.
It was all of his stuff. When I first got there was a mariachi band playing. There was a taco truck.
Mariachi El Bronx.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That would have been
sweet. Yeah. And
that would have been dope.
Hell yeah.
I have a Bronx story for you, Chris. Next time we're hanging out, I'll tell you.
Oh, he's coming. We're having Dave in studio, so we'll be hanging. It'll be a couple episodes of Beardo, Weirdo, and Bucko in the studio.
Yeah, there we go.
But to know that you went through all that and that you get to go to this moment, Alex, that where you get to have everyone that you love. It's the fact that Stacy is with you, and I can see your mom in the background, and they get to see you alive, healthy,
and
happy.
Bond's back there too.
Yeah.
Bond and his girlfriend are in there.
And surrounded by love. What a wonderful moment that is, man. For anyone who's out there who's hearing this that is struggling, what is your message to someone who can't figure it out, Dave?
Oh yeah, I got the perfect thing, man. It's this simple. Don't quit before the miracle. Don't quit before the miracle. I'm living proof that you can turn it around and you can rebuild a new life. Free from the slavery of drugs and alcohol. Yeah, dude. Don't quit before the miracle, man. Just keep putting in the work. It's going to happen. So whether you're already in recovery and struggling like I did the first few years, or if you you have a problem, you should stop it. That you can't do it on your own. There's a network of people out there who can help. And there are programs out there that can help. There's 12 steps. There's refuge recovery. There's celebrate recovery. There's myriad of options to choose from. I chose the option that works best for me, but there is help out there, man. You can get it, and don't quit. Keep coming back. It works.
I love that. Love it. And
look at that smile. That big smile and sobriety. Look at that. He wasn't looking like that in 2012 on ShipRocked. I promise you that.
He wasn't looking like that 45 minutes ago when his internet cut.
Yeah.
But dude, I'm excited to have him in the studio because Dave is such a outside the box guy. He's such a idea guy. He described himself as that in the band. You guys were talking for a minute about like, yeah, you're the idea guy. You're the guy. And I just picture him with that vape. I was going to do my impression of him with the vape. Like my constant impression of him is just kind of like, dude, what if we did this? Like he's got ideas.
Oh,
and I think I'm hoping when we get him in the studio that it's the three of us with a guest, at least for one of the episodes, so that we can have Dave joining the conversation and having some fun. Dude, thank you so much.
Honorary third member of Beardo, Weirdo, and
Bucky.
Beardo, Weirdo, and Bucky.
Yeah.
That's what I call him.
Bucko, whatever. We'll do whatever you want to call it. Sorry.
I call him.
Sorry, I jumped in. I ruined that whole bit.
Bucky Suds.
Hey,
Bucky.
You just leave it to the veterans, all right?
Yeah.
Bucko.
Dude, thank you for joining us. Where do you want people to find you online, Dave?
You can find me at Dave Buckner 333 on Instagram. That's really about it.
All right, man. Living a great life. God, I love visiting him, dude. We just hang out. It'll be me, Darcy, Dave, and Stacy, and the kids will show up when the pizza's there. And the pizzas, and then and we'll just hang out, watch murder mystery, or we'll play Quiplash. God, Chris would be great at Quiplash.
I haven't heard of that.
Oh my God, Quiplash is the most inappropriate game of all time.
I would crush
if you play it the right way. Yeah, I learned about it from comedians, and I was like, oh my God, this game is amazing.
Nice,
and it's Quiplash is unbelievable. I love you. Congratulations on being able to make it to your 50th birthday and 10 years of sobriety, Dave. And And you can find all of our information. Dave and I are going to be in Houston, as well as Wantagh, New York, as well as Vegas.
You and Dave are doing comedy now.
Me and Chris. I'm sorry. Did I say Dave? Did I say Dave?
Yeah.
I said Dave.
That's all right, man.
I'm sorry.
I'm just hanging out over here.
Yeah. Me and Dave are going on the road. No, me and Chris will be in Wantagh, Houston, and Las Vegas.
Dave, you are more than welcome to come out to those shows if you like as well.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, we'll get you some stand up in there.
Yep.
I
And
already started writing material. I'll be there.
all the info for the dates are at getgas.com, getgas with 2 S's.com. Also, Chris Kael on the road, 5 Finger Death Punch. You want to meet him? Go to chriskael.com for that information. You can also get his bass packages, his vest packages, and we'll see you on the next episode of Beardo and Weirdo. Thank you.